slight change in when it's time after your precepts. Why do you both go over to that side? It just makes more sense spacing-wise. Okay.
There's already seats there.
All right, so we'll start with our anagarika ordination with Bret and Josh. And they'll begin by bowing 3 times and then making a request after they offer the trays of their whites. And we'll just go from there. Requisites are here, and go ahead and chant your request.
Sambado garawa sorajo pato abokaso pabaja nahidang sukarang agarang ajawasata ekanta paripurnang ekanta parisudang Sankalikitang brahmacharyang charitum yang nunahang ke samasung oharetva kasayani vattani achadetva agarasamahana gariyang pabajayang. The household life is cramped and dusty. The homeless life is free as air. It is not easy living the household life, to live the fully perfected holy life, purified and polished like a conch shell. Suppose I were to shave off my hair and beard, don the robes of a Buddhist monastic, and go forth from the household life into homelessness.
Very good. The request has been officially made. The requisites of the cloth requisites are intact and ready to be used. So we'll hand them back to the candidates, and we'll go ahead and put them on and come back. Maybe some people can help get their pavilions in place next to the next one. Just so everybody knows, it might look like we know what we're doing, but we don't. We've practiced a couple of times, but we don't do them so often that it rolls right off. So probably have a few little glitches here and there, making an organic process. But there will be periods of time when the various candidates are away putting on robes, and during that time we can sit quietly and contemplate the beautiful occasion that we're all here together for. request the precepts.
Mayang bante tisaranena saha atta silani yachama dutiyampi mayang bante tisaranena saha atta silani yachama tatiyampi mayang bante tisaranena saha atta silani yachama.
Namo Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa.
Buddhaṃ saranam gacchāmi.
Buddhaṃ saranam gacchāmi.
Dhammam saranam gacchāmi.
Dhammam saranam gacchāmi.
Sangham saranam gacchāmi.
Sangham saranam gacchāmi.
Dutiyampi buddhaṃ saranam gacchāmi.
Dutiyampi Buddhaṃ saranam gacchāmi.
Dutiyampi dhammam saranam gacchāmi.
Dutiyampi Dhammam saranam gacchāmi.
Dutiyampi sangham saranam gacchāmi.
Dutiyampi Sangham saranam gacchāmi.
Tatiyampi buddhaṃ saranam gacchāmi.
Tatiyampi Buddhaṃ saranam gacchāmi.
Tatiyampi dhammam saranam gacchāmi.
Tatiyampi Dhammam saranam gacchāmi.
Tatiyampi sangham saranam gacchāmi.
Tatiyampi Sangham saranam gacchāmi.
Tisaranagamanaṃ nititaṃ.
Amabante.
Panatipata veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Panatipata veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
I undertake the precept to refrain from taking the life of any living creature.
I undertake the precept to refrain from taking the life of any living creature.
Adinadana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Adinadana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
I undertake the precept to refrain from taking that which is not given.
I undertake the precept to refrain from taking that which is not given.
Abrahmacharya veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Brahmacharya veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
I undertake the precept to refrain from any intentional sexual activity.
I undertake the precept to refrain from any intentional sexual activity.
Musavada veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Musavada veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
I undertake the precept to refrain from lying.
I undertake the precept to refrain from lying.
Surameraya majapamadatthana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Sura Mereya Majja Pamadatana Veramani Sikapadang Samadhiyami.
I undertake the precept to refrain from consuming intoxicating drink and drugs which lead to carelessness.
I undertake the precept to refrain from consuming intoxicating drink and drugs which lead to carelessness.
Vikala bhojana veramani sikapadang samadhiyami.
Vikala bhojana veramani sikapadang samadhiyami.
I undertake the precept to refrain from eating at inappropriate times.
I undertake the precept to refrain from eating at inappropriate times.
Nacha gita vadita visukadasana mala ganda vilepana dharana mandana vibhusana thana veramani sikapadang samadhiyami.
Nacha gita vadita visukadasana mala ganda vilepana dharana mandana vibhusana thana veramani sikapadang samadhiyami.
I undertake the precept to refrain from entertainment, beautification, and adornment.
I undertake the precept to refrain from entertainment, beautification, and adornment.
Ujjasayana mahasayana veramani sikapadang samadhiyami.
Ujjasayana mahasayana veramani sikapadang samadhiyami.
I undertake the precept to refrain from lying on a high or luxurious sleeping place.
I undertake the precept to refrain from lying on a high or luxurious sleeping place.
Imani yata sikapadani samadhiyami.
Imani yata sikapadani samadhiyami. Imani yata sikapadani samadhiyami. Imani yata sikapadani samadhiyami.
Imani yata sikapadani silena sugatinyanti silena bhoga sampada silena nibutinyanti tasma silang visodaye.
Sadhu Bhante.
The taking of the precepts for Anagarika Bret and Anagarika Josh is now completed, and there will be a second half of the ordination that we'll do all at the same time after Anagarika Matt takes the Samanera precepts. That'll be the taking of dependence. So for now, the two of you can go and sit over in your places on the side, and call you back in a few minutes.
You can take your...
We'll just, sitting cloths and the cushions for sure, but and then we'll just clear these guys out to the side maybe. Maybe we could just move them both over to this side. begin with a request to begin the process for taking pabaja, or the going forth.
Okasa vandami bante sabang aparadang kamatame bante maya katang punyang samina hanumoditabang samina katang punyang mayhang databang sadhu sadhu Hanumodami Okasa karunyang katawa Pabajang detame bante.
Quick check. Hand them back to you in just a second. Make sure we've got requisites of the Saban, the lower robe, and the Jiwan, the upper robe, all ready to go. Looks like they're here.
Aham bante pabajang yachami Dutiyampi aham bante pabajang yachami Tatiyampi aham bante pabajang yachami Sabaduka nisarana nibbana Sachikaranataya Imangka sawangahitawa Pabajeta mangbante Anukampang upadaya Sabaduka nisarana nibbana Sachikaranataya Imangka sawangahitawa Pabajeta mangbante Anukampang upadaya Sabaduka nisarana nibbana Sachikaranataya Imangka sawangahitawa Pabajeta mangbante Anukampang upadaya.
I can sit puppy up. So the requests that.
Did you say having taken these robes?
Oh, we got to. I'm sorry. Yep, go on to the second part. Right.
Sabaduka nisarana nibbana Sachikaranataya Etanka sawang tatawa Pabajeta mangbante Anukampang upadaya Sabaduka nisarana nibbana Sachikaranataya Etanka sawang tatawa Pabajeta mangbante Anukampang upadaya Sabaduka nisarana nibbana Sachikaranataya Etanka sawang tatawa Pabajeta mangbante Anukampang upadaya.
So what Anagarika Matt has just done is to make a formal request for the going forth. And the first time he chanted that brief phrase, it's translated as, to cross over all dukkha in order to realize nibbana. Take these robes, please, Venerable Sir. Out of compassion, grant me the going forth. He chanted that 3 times, and then he offered his robes for me to hold on to. And then he said pretty much the same thing, except to cross over all dukkha in order to realize nibbana, having taken these robes, please, Venerable Sir, out of compassion, grant me the going forth. So the request for the going forth has been completed. And essentially what this means is Anagarika Mat is requesting to move from living by the 8 precepts, which Anagarika Bret and Anagarika Josh just recited, and taking on the 10 precepts of the Samanera, the novice ordination. And the difference between the 8 precepts and the 10 precepts is actually, even though 10 minus 8 is 2, there's really just one precept that's different, because one of the 8 precepts is divided into 2 parts. The precept on entertainment, beautification, and adornment is just broken up into 2. And then the 10th precept that he is going to be taking will be the defining characteristic of going into brown, which is the discontinuing of the handling of money. So from this point on, after he takes the precepts, Anagarika Mat will give up the use of money. He went yesterday with his family to close his bank accounts, and at this point in time, he will become an official alms mendicant. So it's quite a significant change. It's just one precept, but it's a fairly big one of renunciation, moving from the world of engaging in commerce and income and expenses, and moving into being a recipient of alms. So even though it seems like a small one, it's quite significant. And I found in my Samanera ordination it was actually in some ways more significant than the bhikkhu. It was a very defining aspect of that. So he will come forth and receive his robes again, and then we will give some instruction on a contemplation that will become part of the Samanera life. Okay. The next part of this ordination is where he will repeat after me what we call the 5 kammatthana, which are the 5 bases of kammatthana, the 5 parts of the body, a traditional reflection that are given to novices when they first take their novice ordination, the going forth. And many of you know probably the practice, the reflection on the 32 parts of the body is one of the recollections of contemplation of the body, the first part of the Satipatthana, where there's 32 parts that are memorized, recited, reflected on. And these are the first 5 of those kammatthana, and are the outward aspects of the body, what you see when you look at another being. Hair of the head, hair of the body, nails, teeth, and skin. So that's considered to be the first reflection that a Samanera should begin. And traditionally, as we'll do it, it's recited in the Pali, and first in the forward, and then in the reverse order. So if you will repeat after me as we go through this. Kesa,
Kesa,
Loma,
Loma,
Naka,
Naka,
Danta,
Danta,
Tacho,
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 Danta,
Danta,
Naka,
Naka,
Loma,
Loma,
Kesa.
Kesa.
Okay. So you've received your meditation instructions, and you may go out now and put your new robes on. So this generally takes quite a while. So it's hard putting enough on the white robes and the pavillon, but putting on the sarong and the outer robe, the jilon is particularly, somebody who hasn't done it for very many practice sessions, it can take a bit of time. Okay, we'll begin the official request for the refuges and the precepts.
Okasa Wandami Bante Sabang Aparadang Kamatame Bante Maya Katang Punyang Samina Hanumoditabang Samina Katang Punyang Maihang Databang Sadhu Sadhu Hanumodami Okasa Karunyang Katawa Tisarane Nasaha Silani Detame Bante. Aham Bante Sarana Silang Yachami Dutiyambi Aham Bante Sarana Silang Yachami Tatiyambi Aham Bante Sarana Silang Yachami.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa.
Yamahang vadami tang vadehi.
Okasa amma bante.
Buddhang saranang gacchami.
Buddhang saranang gacchami.
Dhammang saranang gacchami.
Dhammang saranang gacchami.
Sanghang saranang gacchami.
Sanghang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi Buddhang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi Buddhang Saranang Gacchami.
Dutiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi Dhammang Saranang Gacchami.
Dutiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi Sanghang Saranang Gacchami.
Tatiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi Buddhang Saranang Gacchami.
Tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi Dhammang Saranang Gacchami.
Tatiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi Sanghang Saranang Gacchami.
Tisaranagamanaং nittitang.
Okassa Amma Bhante.
Panatipata veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Anatipata Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami.
Adinadana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Adinadana Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami.
Abrahmacharya veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Abrahmacharya Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami.
Musavada veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Musavada Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami.
Surameraya majapamadatthana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Sura Merya Maja Pamadatana Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami.
Vikala bhojana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Vikala Bhojana Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami.
Nacha gita varita visukadasana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Nacha Gita Varita Visukadasana Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami.
Mala ganda vilepana dharana mandana vibhusana thana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Mala Ganda Vilepana Dharana Mandana Vibhusanatana Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami.
Uchasayana mahasayana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Uchasayana Mahasayana Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami.
Jatarupa rajatapati gahana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Jata Rupa Rajatapati Gahana Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami.
Imani dasa sikkhapadani samadhiyami.
Okassa Amma Bhante. Imani dasa sikkhapadani samadhiyami. Imani dasa sikkhapadani samadhiyami. Imani dasa sikkhapadani samadhiyami.
Going forth is complete. And now we'll move into the taking of dependence that I talked about earlier. So if the two anagarikas could come up. So just briefly to explain, this part of this ordination is where all three of the candidates now will take dependence, and that's part of the tradition that as anagarikas and samaneras, and also the first 5 years as bhikkhus, it's customary to take dependence on teachers to help guide and instruct and make sure that everything is going as it should. And it's a mutual kind of a dependence, such that there's duties that the anagarika and samanera and junior bhikkhus have to the preceptors and the instructors. And there's also duties that the preceptors will have to the junior members of the community. So we try to keep each other's welfare in mind, and each make sure that we all have the things that we need to practice comfortably and to continue in our training. So it's a sense of mutual responsibility, because going forth and leaving the traditional household life means that doesn't mean that we still have that we don't have any needs of dependence on each other, ways that we can help each other. And so, but it becomes more the sangha as being the family with its attendant responsibilities. So in this ceremony, all three of them will make the request to become independents, and they will be making that request of both Ajahn Yaniko and myself, and we will go ahead and perform that ceremony now. So go ahead and do your Namo Tassa.
Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Acharyo me bante hohi ayasmato nisaya vachami. Acharyo me bante hohi ayasmato nisaya vachami. Acharyo me bante hohi ayasmato nisaya vachami.
Opaika
Sadhu bante
patirupam
Sadhu bante
pasadikena sampadehi.
Sadhu bante Ajata gedani tero Maihang baro Ahampi rasabaro Ajata gedani tero Maihang baro Ahampi rasabaro Ajata gedani tero Maihang baro Ahampi rasabaro.
Will the adjustment here. Thus begins the joys of learning how to keep it on the shoulder. Takes about 20 years. So sit comfortably in Pattaya and offer a few reflections, but before we do that, we should probably, so I don't have to keep on saying the former anagarika mat, we will have a new name, but go ahead and do the honors there.
Your name is Dhammawaro. Thou shalt now be
Samanera
known as that.
Dhammawaro. Go ahead and I think the meaning should be on the front there.
one of excellent Dhamma.
I think Tankovila gave you even more definite dictionary definitions of all the possibilities of what Dhammawaro can mean in the
Come up
entry.
with your own definition when you open that card.
We thought one of excellent Dhamma was the best short one of noble Dhamma. Offer a few reflections here just to wrap up the evening. So just to officially welcome Samanera Dhammawaro, anagarika Bret, anagarika Josh into the Sangha here at Abhayagiri. They've been practicing diligently over the winter retreat and in even months prior to that, and now making this formal request to continue the training, and the two anagarikas coming into the Sangha, and Samanera Dhammawaro making a commitment for another year in the novice role. These commitments are for 1 year at a time in this stage. And just to reflect what this means, for all of us to reflect on that. A lot of people ask the question, I certainly was asked the question a lot before I took the ordination and the going forth, and I assumed that probably they have also received this question from people. It's like, well, why are you doing this? Why would you want to leave the life engaged in the world and pick up practice in a monastery? The experience of Buddhist monasticism, especially in the West, is still pretty young and doesn't have a long-term history as, say, in Thailand, where our tradition comes from, or other Buddhist Asian countries. And so people don't have a very strong sense of what this means and why would somebody want to do this. In fact, sometimes in the Western Buddhist culture, because it has come earlier in the 20th century to the West in the form of primarily a lay practice before monasticism, particularly Western monastics, started to become established here. It's entered the country as a teaching through retreat centers and various community groups, primarily brought from Asia and taught with lay teachers, so that the Buddhist tradition of monasticism is, whereas it's been present in some of the Asian communities in the West, it has just really popped up here fairly recently in the Western communities. So people don't generally understand a whole lot of the roots of this tradition, want to know why. People see it, sometimes we've even been referred to as being kind of anachronistic, out of time, been referred to as sort of a quaint approach to Buddhism. I've heard you referred to that before here as we're getting started. So the question comes up, and we have to explain ourselves a bit sometimes. What's the purpose? What would motivate one of us, some of us, to take this form? And it's really hard to answer that, and I find my answer changes oftentimes from time to time as to how to answer that. But just almost a very, very deep sense of wanting to live a life and make meaning of this human existence, live it to the fullest extent, as the chanting requests were going in the Pali, to cross over the stream of samsara, to take the teachings to their fullest, requires a lot of support, requires a lot of understanding of the teachings as well as practice, but also the support of teachers and community and a tradition that has tread this path for 2,500 plus years. It's kind of taking this opportunity to dip into a thread of authenticity. So I like to see it more, rather than being anachronistic, we're moving towards participating in something that has an authentic history, so that as best we can tell, this particular form is as close as anything anyway to the style of practice that the Buddha encouraged when he was actively alive and teaching more than 2,500 years ago, and that the monastic form was actually the form that the Buddha set up as the most efficacious for seeing this practice to its completion. The distractions in the world can be many, and it's hard. It's hard enough as a monastic to do it, but it takes a supreme amount of diligence as a sincere lay practitioner to maintain that strength of commitment through all the ups and downs that one can go through. So putting oneself in an optimal environment, shedding some of the traditional responsibilities, and establishing a very firm focus on not only practicing meditation, but living a life that is a full-on livelihood devoted to the full realization of the teachings. So the Buddha very clearly set up this monastic training for that purpose. And the aspects of renunciation, simplicity, are part and parcel of that, to decomplicate, to disentangle ourselves from those things that can obstruct and hold us back and distract us. So there's many advantages of being in the monastic form. Not only being able to follow the path that our teachers have set out for us, but also to be able to set aside some of those traditional responsibilities. So as a Samanera now, Samanera Dhammawaro no longer will have the responsibilities that are part of handling money, earning a living with money, and having to buy requisites. He certainly will have plenty of work to do. We have, just because giving up that livelihood of handling money doesn't mean that there isn't work in a monastery, and we're all participating in that. So, but that is a way of simplifying life. And the anagarikas, whereas they will still be able to handle money, they are to making a gesture of relinquishment of the complexities of ownership of property, and a reduction in the amount of requisites that they have. All of us are attempting to reduce the amount of things that we own. The less we have in our possession, the less we have to take care of, the less we have to lose. So simplifying our possessions, simplifying our lives as much as possible opens up that much more freedom in the mind, and to explore the teachings to their fullest. We give up the more intimate personal relationships in the world and trade them in for a broader type of relationship with other people, our fellow monastics in the world around us, so that as skillful as many of those closer personal intimate relationships can be, and quite a place for learning some very good qualities, the attachment that comes in those kinds of relationships can be very difficult to untangle. And the kind of caring and support that we enter into in the monastic life is one that's a broader based, one that's not centered around one or a few people, such as in a family unit, but one that is increasingly opening to just developing that sense of care, concern, looking after each other on a very broad basis. And eventually, the way we try to operate in the world with that sense of very boundless loving kindness. It's not limited in its scope to a small group of people. The less personal it becomes, the more broad-based it becomes, and the more we can dwell in that sense of universal care and compassion without respect to any one individual. It becomes a broad experience that we carry with us for all beings without exception. So we give up things that are part of the traditional ways of living in the world, and there is a certain amount of renunciation and letting go that has to be done. And in exchange, we can broaden and live a simpler and more fully broad-based life in how we work and deal with other people. One of the lines in the anagarika chanting is, the homeless life is free as air. And it, taking on these precepts, taking on this lifestyle, does result in certain other kinds of freedoms as well. The freedoms that I just mentioned, but also the freedom to take this practice to its fullest. Freedom from the entanglements of samsara, the freedom from having to actually be somebody, be someone in the world. And eventually takes us to the full freedom that one can experience by transcending samsara, transcending the cycles of rebirth and the endless entanglement and dukkha, and to realize full and complete liberation. So that is the fullest way that we can experience this freedom that comes from adopting the holy life. And to reflect on this opportunity as being a human being that we have uniquely in this birth as a human being, that we have a certain level of reflective capacity, reflective faculties that other creatures don't have in the animal world, for instance. We have this unique ability to be able to look at our lives and ask ourselves, what kinds of actions will result in happiness? What actions result in suffering? We can look at that and learn to develop the kusala chitta, the wholesome heart, and to abandon the akusala chitta, the aspects of unskillful behavior, unskillful actions. We have the ability to discern a unique human capacity in this world here, that discernment, ability to tell the difference between what is going to cause suffering for ourselves and others and what will end that suffering. And to reflect on that and to adjust our life, our actions according to skillfulness. We also have the unique ability to know what will be the best for our long-term happiness as opposed to the short-term happiness that maybe we get caught up in through habit. So we can start to, in a sense, abandon and give way of those short-term ways of getting happiness and look towards the long term, because we know this is going to be a long haul for most of us to develop the free heart, that we can suspend our need for immediate sense pleasure in the world, and take the long-term perspective of slowly developing the heart, slowly developing the mind in the best way for a long-term happiness that can lead to complete freedom. And we have the ability to be able to conceive, to conceptualize the fact that there is actually a possible endpoint of complete freedom that other beings may not have the ability to do. Even in the human form, people don't even pick up these kinds of reflections if they haven't been exposed to them, if they haven't had the opportunity to come across the teachings. So this is a very unique and special opportunity that you're taking on. Something to be revered and honored inside oneself, inside ourselves. So we do it because of many motivations. We take on this form for many motivations. Some of it is because we understand suffering in our own lives. You've all lived in the world to some extent and participated and seen ups and downs, enough to know that there isn't everlasting satisfaction to be found in those kinds of ways of being, and have a strong sense through reflection and experience that perhaps there is an alternative, and that perhaps this might be the way to approach that. So it's a one-year commitment that the anagarikas are taking on, and a further one-year commitment that Samanera Dhammawara is taking on to continue living a life that has meaning and is not only for your own benefit, which hopefully it will be, but for the benefit of many beings for many years to come, participating in this thread that goes all the way back to the time of the Buddha, as best we can tell in a very pure form. And then dedicating anything that you gain from this experience, this practice, dedicating that for the benefit of all other beings too. We look for ways to help in the world, and as some teachers were very instrumental in my life when I was trying to debate whether I could be of more use continuing my work in the healthcare field or doing something like this, that it was pointed out that the amount of goodness that our teachers have given to us, people like Lumpur Pasono, Ajahn Chah, and going all the way back to the Buddha, looking at the immeasurable amount of service and freedom from suffering that they have been able to offer in the form of developing their practice as monastics and then being able to share that with others. And I'm not sure that I can hope to live up to that high level of standard, but am inspired by the level of freedom from suffering that they have been able to offer the world through their teachings, and hope to repay that kindness and emulate that model to the best of my ability. And I'm glad to have 3 more people who are engaging at that level. As our chanting says, is the Sangha gives the occasion for incomparable goodness to arise in the world. And you're continuing to help support that in this forum by taking on the precepts that you have this evening. So I'll leave it there for this evening's reflection.
Sadhu, 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 anumodami.
Okay. Well, maybe we can close off this part of the evening with a sharing of the blessings. Get Kankavilo to lead that.
Page 32 in the first chanting book, the verses of sharing an aspiration in Pali. Dhammayam vismadikanagathayo vanamase.
Imina punya kamena upajaya gunukara acharyo pakara chamata pita chanyataka suryo chandi maharaja gunawanta narapicha brahma maharaja inda cha lokapala cha devata yamomita manusa cha majata verika picha sabe sata sukhi hontu punyani pakatani me sukhanchati vidang dentu kipam Papetavo matam imina punya kamena imina udisena chakipahang sulabe chevatan upadana chedanam ye santane hina dhamma yavanibanato Nasantu sabada yeva yata jato bhave bhave ujujitang satipanya saleko viriyam hina maralabantu nokasam katuncha viriye sume buddhati pavaro Dhammo nato varutamo nato paceka buddho ca sangho nato taro mamam te sotamanubhavena maro kasam labantuma.
So we'll probably take a little bit of a break, and then maybe if people would like to talk and congratulate the new members of our community, over in the dining hall might be a place where people can gather, friends, relatives, acquaintances, and schmooze a little if you wish. And then after we kind of rearrange things in here, this being the one pod, for people who are staying on for the vigil can continue practicing in here through the night. So many blessings to all who came to be part of this and join in this occasion here tonight.